So what does it mean to be Kobe, Mr. Bryant? Let's go. It means being number one, yeah, I'm always on the run. Rising like the sun and shooting like a gun. Against Toronto, scoring a ton. 81, 81, 80, 81. Means down by 14 at half. Before I started cooking, before you started looking. Shaking and baking, taking and making. Running things up and down the court, goodness saking. Had to assist against them Raptors. But then I hung that team from the Raptors. And you could hear the swish of my ignition. The bouncing sound of my ambition. Recognition means folks complaining, it's all about me, like I'm putting the apple before the tree. Screw them all, just give me the ball. I said the whole world's shorter than I am tall. And then I got the MVP. And then you got to envy me. From MVP to envy me. I am MVP, you envy me, yeah. So what does being Kobe mean, Mr. B? It means being me, yeah. So what does being Kobe mean, Mr. B? It means being me, yeah. So what does being Kobe mean, Mr. B? It means being me.
Being is our deepest look into the unwritten book of an athlete's life. The style, the essence, the harmony, the strife. Our very best reporting, words and images consorting into one. Kobe Bryant is arguably the greatest basketball player in the world today. Through the force of his will and the range of his skills, he can take possession of a game like no other player alive. But he remains a man who feels yet unfulfilled, a man still haunted by the ghost of what he craves most.
Here's Michael at the foul line, a shot on Elo, good! The Bulls win!
Kobe wants to be Michael. Worse, he wants to be more than Michael. He wants to be larger and grander than Michael. Wants to retire someday known as greatest basketball player who ever lived. In the world of pro basketball, Kobe is like Napoleon dreaming of Alexander the Great. Both conquered worlds, but Alexander came first and he did it best. Brilliant, charismatic, universally revered. Kobe was raised to be who he is today, by pedigree and upbringing, by how he was trained from an early age to achieve and excel. In his competitive fire and will to win, he is more like a great racehorse than any human athlete of our time. The son of an NBA player who starred in Italy and who brought his son into locker rooms, to games, to the smells and chalkboards that defined that world. He played the game incessantly, obsessively, and he mimicked MJ at every turn, in style, in work ethic, in skills. Alas, behold him now, a prisoner of someone else's legacy, rising like Michael on his fadeaway, that look of passionate intensity on his face, driving the lane, tongue wagging. In his search for individuation, Kobe at last found himself an artist at impersonation.
This is me. This is how I am. And how do you elevate your team? How do you get to the next level? You have to have some kind of luck. And the answer to prayer.
Kobe Bryant MVP. How does that sound?
It sounds pretty awesome. Sounds pretty awesome. It's it feels great. It feels great, and you know, more so because we all sharing this together, and I think that's the greater sense of enjoyment.
Yeah, I would like to be traded. And as tough as it is to say that, as tough as it is to come to that conclusion, I just don't see how you can rebuild that trust.
This is a long way from 11 months ago, isn't it? I mean, a long way.
No kidding. No kid, man. If you told me we'd be sitting here, 11 months ago, man, I think you were crazy.
You have said you came to trust teammates more. When did that happen, Kobe? How does that happen? Is that something you decided going into the season?
No, it's something that we talk about as a group, and the first thing I say to them is, I told them, I said, you guys are ready. You're ready. Not only being ready for the moment, but wanting that moment. And then coming to me and saying, Cole, I'm ready. You kick it to me, I'm gonna knock it down. And those are things that I wanted to see and that I needed to see. They made me look good. Because by them working hard and doing all the things that they've done, by coming through in clutch situations, making right plays, now people are looking at me like I've done something miraculous when they've done all the work. Then you kind of start smelling that familiar smell. Me and Derek joke all the time, during the season, we kind of look at each other and say, this is starting to smell a little familiar. That's when we got really excited about it.
Can you sense a difference? Because several of the guys I asked, including Lamar, said, he was so serious a few years ago that this is not a new person, but a new side, an evolving side. Can you feel that?
This is me. This is how I am. You ask my kids and my wife, this is how I am all the time. I think it's just, we have a team that we all get along. I mean, we all enjoy each other's company. It's tough to do that when the chemistry isn't there. The teams that we played on in the past, there was such a huge age difference. There's a lot of bickering going on. And with this team, you don't have any of that. Everybody can just be themselves. We just laugh, joke, rib each other. It's fun. It was very hard getting adjusted simply because I had a lot of trouble understanding English and the slang. But one thing I had in common with some of my other students and classmates was basketball.
Bryant was such a sensational prep player that he became a national phenom, drawing sellout crowds to high school games near Philly. College coaches and pro scouts came to watch him soar and stuff. And when he decided to turn pro right out of high school, he was so peacock full of himself that he held a press conference with a pair of shades perched on his head.
No, I have decided to skip college and take my talent to the NBA.
A knight errant turned suddenly knight arrogant.
My name is Kobe Bryant. I'm 17 years old. ESPN, what's up? I'm going to Speaking Arts. I'm about to give a oral presentation for 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes. We're entering the classroom. Dun, 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 dun. My name is Kobe Bryant. I'm 17 years old. My father played professional basketball. He played for the Philadelphia 76ers, the Houston Rockets, and the San Diego Clippers.
I'm about 6'9.5", 6'10".
And how tall is Kobe?
Well, you let him tell it. He's just as tall as I am. I would say 6'6", maybe 6'1.5".
He played professional basketball for 8 years. And after his 8th year, he decided that it would be best for him to move on and to take his talent elsewhere. So we packed our bags and moved to Italy.
I don't speak Italian. I know Kobe does, but I don't speak Italian.
Sto giocando anche adesso.
Yeah, he speaks it fluently. Matter of fact, that was his first language, because, I mean, how much English did you pick up from the age 1 to 5 years old?
So it's very hard. My father told us that he's retiring from the game of basketball and that it was time for us to come back to America.
Evidently, he had a very good experience overseas in Europe there, and I'm thankful that he's in America.
It was very hard getting adjusted simply because I had a lot of trouble understanding English and the slang. But one thing I had in common with some of my other students and classmates was basketball. So on Fridays and Saturdays, I would go in my rec room with my basketball and basically dribble myself to sleep. And I think that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because during those lonely hours in the rec room, I discovered the hunger, the motivation, and the desire to be the best possible basketball player that I could be.
He's, without question, the best high school player I've ever seen. I've never seen a player that just brings to the table the kind of skills that he does.
You know,